It's Broadleaf Bullies talking shit. 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 It's Broadleaf Bullies.
Work computer as well? You have separate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a company computer, work computer. And then this is the cigar, this is the Stogie Road computer.
You need like a plushie or something sitting next to you. Like
Yeah.
just an object. Or put
Yeah,
the dog
I
there.
I know.
Stella.
Yeah, both of them are on the ground at my feet.
Stella!
So, yeah. So, yeah, it was, I should sit in the middle, but yeah, I don't, yeah.
It'd
It's,
be weird. I probably couldn't sit in the middle either.
Yeah, I know.
If I
Usually
wasn't on with you.
I could.
I'd still be
I
on.
like to have the nail head between us, so. So, Kerr, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm smoking a little, has not been released yet, but will be soon.
What's that? Is that from your partner or is that from the other
Yeah,
project?
it's from Chris. It's Faded. It's,
Okay, yeah, you sent him a couple of those. We definitely got to
Yeah.
let those acclimate for a week, and then we're definitely gonna dig into those.
Yeah, I'm really digging it. It's a great blend, man. It's a really good blend. It's fantastic.
I'm smoking this beast you sent me, the muzzle loader.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you're finally smoking one. Another
Yeah.
good one by
Sent
Matt
those a
Booth.
while
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah,
I was sending Kevin pictures. I'm like, yo, muzzle loader. Pump.
yeah. I don't know if Jess she doesn't like the big 60s, the 60 ring gauges. So I don't know if she'll dig it or not, but we'll find out.
I'm not a big 6x60 either.
Yeah.
I'll make some exceptions, and for Matt Booth, I'll make an exception. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I did because I think it's a great cigar for the price.
Yeah, the like the CAO flathead is one of my exceptions. I love the 660 flathead.
Yeah, yeah. So Jess is not here this evening.
We're Jessless.
Yeah, she went to work.
So
She's got setting up for Halloween.
you have to let me know how much I can roast her tonight.
Oh, have at it.
Or what?
Kevin's like, she's not going to
Jen
see
will let her know most of the shenanigans.
I don't think I'm
after
going to
the
say
show.
anything.
Bullshit.
I really.
You guys are freaking thick as thieves.
Yeah.
You get a kid
My
kidding
memory's
me.
just not as good anymore, so.
Your memory's not as good. It means nothing about your snitchery.
Yeah. That's not something you want to hear from someone in the medical field. You know, my memory just not
Yeah.
as good as it used to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. She may just have to watch this to see.
No. I don't,
Yeah.
Oh, do you need your guitar?
No. No, she's not here. I can't sing my Jess song.
He created
Oh,
a
yeah.
Jess song. It was quite good.
All right. I don't know. I didn't create anything. It was just she goes, you should do a Jess song. So I just start strumming, and I'm like, I don't know what topics I'm allowed to talk about,
Yeah.
and which ones I'm not allowed
It
to
was
talk
good.
about.
It was very
or
Lars-esque.
what songs I'm allowed, or what topics I'm allowed to sing about.
I have to go back and find my boss made a song for Jessica. And he can sing a little bit. He's super funny, super creative, and it was something about pillows, all the pillows on the bed or something. I forget. It was just it was a hilarious song, and God, I gotta try and find that. It's probably been a year since he made that song.
Yeah,
it's
I gotta sit down and write one, and then it'll do well when I improv. Whenever I improv a song, I always go back to the Adam Sandler voice.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's like that's automatically funny. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, Jessica.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought your lyrics were great last night with improv.
Yeah, I can't remember what they were anymore. To be honest with you, they come and they go like that. You just keep. It's no 8 Mile, but
Yeah.
No, it was very Lars-esque. It was great.
well, there's a lot of Lars-esque fucking material too. You gotta come
True.
on. Over the last 48 hours, it wasn't like I'm just picking on Jess just because she ate Rocky Road ice cream.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of material there.
It's yeah, her life. Yeah. So you want to be an influencer, you say? You know, it's
Well, guess
and-
what?
yeah, and everything that comes with it.
It got good news and bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is you're going to get a lot of people reaching out to you. The bad news is
Yeah.
you're going to get a lot of people reaching out to you.
That's it. It's been a while since I've had any weird, like really weird messages. Probably been like a year. People just they used to reach out a lot. So
I can imagine. I mean, I used to get them from time to time. Now I'll get like a message that's, like I got one the other day, and it was just like this random like information about cigars, and it's all in Spanish. I can't read any of them because I still think when I see Kerr Viajante, they think I'm Spanish.
yeah.
So or I'll get messages like that, and I'll translate it. I'll be like, I cannot speak Spanish,
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I got the, I want to fillet you while lighting your cigar. Whoa, okay,
Yeah,
that's great.
That was what is his name?
Was it Jasper or something like that, or
No, God, we all get them. There's a Facebook group dedicated to the guy.
yeah,
So yeah,
No, is it really?
Oh yeah, it's and he has a buddy that's not as bold and brazen as him, but he will like reach out and then kind of make small talk to see where it goes. And
I thought it was Jesper was his name.
No, it wasn't Jesper.
Yeah, it has to be.
I don't even. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it does. Has to be.
It's not. I mean,
Kevin has to look it up now.
I hope it
I
does.
see. Problem is, I don't even know how to look it up
Kerr
because it's the group.
I don't know how to look it up. Let's say it's not like they have keywords that you can look them up.
I know. It's God.
Everyone that's listening to
Yes,
this
it
show,
was.
Kevin and Kerr are actually looking up stuff on their phone.
Wasn't his last name Peterson?
Yeah, Peterson Boswell.
Yes, and now it goes by Jesper. He goes by Jesper Peterson now.
Oh, does he?
It's another profile.
Okay. So yeah, so he's got another
He's in
buddy.
Denmark.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Kevin
You know where
knows
that is, Kev?
Roughly.
Rough. I bet you there's a guy who would like to show you where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad all of us don't know the capital of Australia.
I
So,
was really kind of.
I
was
it.
shocked by that.
Yeah.
Like,
I got it.
Yeah. How is it not Sydney? How is it not Sydney? They
do
should
you
just
ever
change-
really hear the capital's name?
I know,
When has it ever been said?
They should change it for Americans.
Except in geography class or
Yeah.
world history.
Well, that said, I want to come over to the States, visit Philadelphia and Denver, and then over to Texas and Florida. And I'm like, who's doing your fucking road guide, Kevin?
Yeah, I know. He has got. Well, how long is he going to be here? A year?
Well, what you do is you're going to land in Philly. You're going to hang
Yeah.
out there. You're going to get in the car, drive about 40 minutes to get to Denver, and then you're going to take
Yeah.
an Uber down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go. I'm like,
And
God,
and just shoot over to Texas real quick,
Yeah.
and then hop the pond over to Florida here. So.
Oh my God, I was laughing when he was giving his sightseeing. I was like, dude,
Exactly.
are you relocating here? Do you have like a year-long contract, or like you said, what?
Yeah, this isn't like Europe. You can't be somewhere, a new country or
Yeah.
a state or a province in 15 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about traveling from Texas to Michigan is like going from Spain to Russia.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, you can. I think it's in 12 hours. You can go from the bottom of the UK all the way to the top of the UK and back again, all in 12 hours.
I believe it.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And then you can take the under the tunnel metro or whatever into Paris.
The tunnel
Yeah.
right into Paris.
You can't
France.
even drive across Texas in 12 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you enter Florida and you're going to the Keys. When you enter Florida, it's a big celebration that you're in Florida. little do
yeah.
you know, 8
It's
hours later,
8
Yep.
hours later.
And then 4 hours from Miami to Key West.
you're like,
yeah.
hey man, we're in Miami,
Horrible
awesome.
drive.
Yeah, you got another 4 more hours.
One lane
Yeah.
road.
How long is this state?
Yeah, yeah. I hated when driving with a cross country, which we used to drive all the time with my ex-wife Beth, when we'd go up to Ohio every summer, spend like the weekend, then we'd spend a week in Michigan visiting her mom and family up there, and then like I would sleep sometimes. And you ever sleep and wake up and you're like, where are we? Where I saw a sign said like Cincinnati. I go, you drove way too fucking far. I go, why did you drive this? And she's like, we're like in Cincinnati, Tennessee, and I'm like, what? You're like, what? You're in that weird stupor of a sleep. You don't know where you are. Like just these weird signs.
I'm driving. I don't sleep. I can't sleep in a car. I'll nod off and shit, but I
Not
couldn't
while
do
driving.
that. Not while driving or passengering.
Yeah.
Either.
I'm the same.
But like when I drive to Pennsylvania from South Carolina, you ever see Virginia? What it looks like,
Yeah.
right? It looks like a humpback monster.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. It's little over here, but yeah.
Yeah. So when you drive to Pennsylvania, you will drive from the apex, the highest point in Virginia, to the lowest point.
It's
so
the worst state
when you
to
leave
drive
when you
through.
leave Pennsylvania, you're like, okay, I'm in Maryland, and then you're in West Virginia for like a minute, and then you're back in Maryland again, and you're like, oh, okay, I entered Virginia, and you're in Virginia for like 4 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you would never think it, but that state is so freaking long, from top to bottom. And I remember my sister, she called me, what are you doing? I'm in Virginia. Like 2 hours later, hey, what are you doing? Still in fucking Virginia, man.
Yeah.
Oh God, horrible state. I mean, that drive.
I'm if I'm driving, usually 12 hours I'm good for. The last time I went to Ohio, I did 18 hours straight, and I was dead.
Oof.
Dead after 18 hours.
That's
Like
rough.
just parked the car and blacked out. And then the coming back, and that was the longest single trip I ever did, with no breaks, no sleeping, and it was I think it's either 22 or 24 hours from Michigan, where we were at, to Florida, and I did that myself, and then that was the toughest drive. I'll never do that again.
I did 2 trips like that when I was in Pittsburgh. I drove from Pittsburgh to Charleston, walked my daughter to school for her first day of school, and then drove back to Pittsburgh.
Wow.
I did that twice. The second time I did it, I had the flu, and I couldn't. I literally was shivering and sweating, and I had to stop at a hotel. I really don't remember anything from checking in. All I remember is pulling into the parking lot, and the next thing I remember is the next morning waking up naked under the blankets, and it literally soaking wet, like someone just dumped a bucket of water on the bed. I don't remember like checking in. I don't remember going into bed. Nothing. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, I had an experience when I got traveling on a business trip. I don't know, 15 years ago. Got on an airplane at Logan. It was only up there for like a week. We went sledding. We had all this fun, and I got the last day I was there sick as a dog. Sick. I mean, it was brutal. So I remember getting on the plane, stumbling to my seat, and then just blacking out. And then just woke up as the stewardess is shaking me. We were in Tampa, and she asked if I was okay, if I needed any medical attention. She had said that flight was the worst flight that she had ever experienced in her career within the turbulence. She said at one point they had dropped over 5,000 feet in just a couple of seconds.
Wow.
And I'm like, that's insane. And she goes, everybody was strapped in, but every now and then one of the stewardesses actually unbuckled just to come check on me. Said the whole time I'm just flopping about, and then
Ragdoll
literally I
Kevin.
said, and just blacked out. And she goes, we just cannot believe you actually slept through that. And got in my car, drove straight to my doctor, gave me some antibiotics, came home, and like slept for like 3 days. And it was brutal.
No, the longest nonstop drive I did was with Joe when he was real little. going from here, from Greenville to my brother's house, and made the mistake of, instead of taking the normal route I would through Pennsylvania to where he lives in New Jersey, I decided to go straight up through Pennsylvania thinking it would be faster to catch 80 and then cut over, and ended up taking over 14 hours, and Joe was probably, I don't know, 3. It
Yeah.
was just...
That was
It
a
was-
Shahan route.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
I thought I was never going to get there.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it's door to door with no stops. It's just under 12 hours.
I got shit on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 hours isn't bad. Like I said, 12 hours, you can do that pretty quick.
Break it
pretty
up,
quickly.
stop, you know.
I can do it straight. I'm fine.
Yeah, no, we stop. When you take road trips with Kevin, we don't stop. We go to the bathroom and we plan our gas. You go to the bathroom when we need gas,
That's
and then you get everything at the gas station. You
You're,
get
you're
your food.
gassing up. You better use the bathroom,
Yeah.
grab your snacks, whatever you have to do, get done, get in the car. You know, if Kerry's sister's with us, she better get out, have a cigarette, do whatever she needs to do, get her scratch offs, get back in the car. We're on the road.
Yeah, because you got to beat that GPS, and then you got to make that time back up. Because as soon as I get off the highway, I look at the GPS and see how far behind we are, and then I try and calculate in my head
Yeah, it's
how
not that
far over the speed limit I have to do, and for how long to make up that gap that I lost.
We
So-
need
so
to
if
do
I-
we need to do a week, take a week off and do a tour of America.
Yeah.
We could, you
Yeah.
and I, because I'm the same way driving. We could probably tour America like that.
Yeah, I know.
Jess and I get a small RV. Jess and I will just sit in the back.
Yeah.
We'll
Like,
be
what'd you
fine.
guys see? Well, we saw a lot from the highway. You know,
No.
yeah. Let me explain all the gas stations. Yeah, that we stopped at.
It would
we
be.
could we could film. We could do reviews on bathrooms the whole
Yeah,
way.
gas station
Rest
Uh,
stops,
yeah,
the best
yeah.
state rest stop.
Yeah, not even the restaurant, just like the bathroom itself.
And do like selfies at each rest stop.
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
some rest stops, the bathrooms, it's big, elaborate, and the bathrooms are a shithole. And there's
Yeah.
others that are small with their bathrooms. You're like, man, okay, you got it.
Yeah.
So we got to do our intro. You got to do it for Jess too.
Oh yes. So, all right. I'm Broadleaf Bully Kevin. This is Broadleaf Bully Jessica.
I'm Broadleaf.
It was bound to happen.
I'm sorry, that made me laugh. Go ahead, Kev. Start all over. Take 2.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kevin. This is Broadleaf Bully Jessica.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kerr,
I'm Broadleaf Bully Jen.
and we are
The
Broadleaf
Broadleaf
Bullies.
We talk,
Should be like, I don't.
you listen. We're the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
I don't know if it's an update in Ecamm or what, but we were
been
in the
happening
we were in
more
the house, and I hit the intros, and it said need to locate the file, and for some reason, it'll store it to the cloud. I gotta wait for it to download, and I upload it, and I was like, okay, I got Lars, I got ours, I got this, came out, it downloaded 2 Lars,
Yeah.
but we made it.
Are we back?
We are.
Oh, we are
We're
back.
live.
So yeah. I have no memory of anything I ever say. Everything is just comes out and then that's it. I forget about it. I remember a couple of years ago I was doing some videos like cigar videos for a magazine. It's for a local. It was an online digital magazine, and they're still on my YouTube channel. I forget the name of the mag. They only did like six issues online, but so I got like halfway through this video I was doing, and I don't even remember what it was on. It wasn't a review or anything. And the guy looks at me, 2 big expensive cameras, and he's like, I forgot to put the memory card in. And I well, what? Yeah, we got to start over. I go, well, you're fucked. And he's like, what? And I go, I don't have a clue what I said. I go, it's not going to be as good because I just say what I say, and that's it. And then so we filmed the whole thing again, and it wasn't as good. I was nervous then, trying to remember what I said, and then
That's horrible.
it was a shit show, and yeah, I'm a one take guy. A lot of people, they always ask what we leave on the cutting room floor of our videos and our reviews, and I go like 15 seconds. Like we turn the camera, and Jessica's good enough now to where, like I said, we just get into it, we talk, we go, we do it, and then that's it. So I mean, we don't have anything left, except, like I said, it's like that 15 seconds of her yelling at me before the lighting is different. And I go, the lighting is built into the ceiling, Jessica. The lighting is. I don't even have access to dim these. How they're just different. They're different, Kevin. And I go, I don't know what to tell you, Jessica. I don't know what to tell you. They're just it's the same. I can't make things move. And then we start, and that's it. So she still gets real nervous. So she yells at me when she gets nervous. I understand that. She apologizes at the end usually.
What, after we hang up?
Yeah. You know I didn't mean that, and I'm like, I know that.
I know that, but made for good video.
Yeah, made for good. Yeah, that's why people watch.
I think going back to using StreamYard may be better.
Was that what we used initially?
I think we used it once or twice just because it was. I just think it was the background, but you've already sent me. You've been able to make a pretty cool ass background with the logos and stuff on it.
Yeah. The I forget whatever you call that whatever they
or underlay or whatever they call it.
The overlay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it'll be easier and better that way to use it. Because you can actually take that and then also download the video and the audio.
Yeah.
From here, I mean, I like Ecamm. It is very easy. It's user friendly, but for some reason, it's been very user unfriendly to me lately.
Yeah, and StreamYard is good. I mean, it's
why did we stop using that?
Yeah.
Do you remember why we stopped using that?
I don't know why we ever. I mean, you've always used Ecamm, so
But I shifted to StreamYard. I was 100% StreamYard. I used this before. But I had too many people that complained about Skype.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, fine, and then I started using StreamYard, just because of sending a link is so much easier than going through the process of open up a Skype account and hearing them bitch and complain about that. And I'm like, really? Is it that difficult? But the only thing that they changed on here is that you can use FaceTime. And I think you can use Messenger video now too on here.
Okay.
So now you can use that. I mean, they're building it out, but this was I think Ecamm was a once and done purchase, where it's not a subscription. But I don't know. You could try StreamYard next week and see how it goes. I mean, I think because you pay for the subscription to StreamYard, or do you use the free version? No, it uses free version. I couldn't stream on 3 different platforms if I had the free version.
Oh, how many can you? I thought it was like 3 or 4. Can you only do one with StreamYard?
One with
it.
free. Yeah.
Okay, because they changed it when they've changed it a couple times in the last couple years I've been using it, and I think it started off like on the free version at the very beginning. It was like 2 or 3, and then you paid to get rid of the watermark and things like that, and then when they upped that price, then they downgraded how many the free gets or everything else. So
I think free you get one platform. You can't upload. I don't think you can upload any videos or anything.
Oh, okay.
And there's no overlays, and you may be able to use the ticker. Because I think Lars is using that first, and he's like, "Why can't I see?" I go, "Because it's free, Lars. You gotta pay for more, and then you get to do more."
Oh yeah, like the $50 a month or whatever it is. It's not that much, and you do get to use so many more options. And now they uploaded like the videos. It used to be like a 10 megabyte 3-minute video. Now I think you can upload like a 15-minute video.
Yeah, I think I use the next level up from free, the first level, because it's like
Oh, they have. I thought it was just 2 levels, free and
No,
then.
I think
Oh,
there's,
okay.
I think there's three levels. There's free doesn't count, but I think there's one level that's 20 some bucks a month, and then there's 50 some dollars. I think there's a high end that's 80 some. Again, I could be completely wrong.
Well, I do know that without Jessica, we do not have interesting topics.
Yeah.
I
they
can't tell you
yes.
that.
But they did just launch StreamYard Business, so I don't know how much that is because there's no price
Exciting
tag on
stuff
that
in
one.
the world.
So but yes,
So, are you trying to say that we need to?
Yeah.
Yeah, basics 20, professionals 39, and then there's business. And I thought there was one more. So
'Cause I think I pay like how much is business?
it doesn't have one. It says contact sales, but professionals
Okay.
39.
Yeah. Okay. So
And
that's the
basics
that's the
20.
one I have. Yeah. They just started offering the business like a week ago, and you have to call them for a pricing, because now you can have like 15 or 20 people backstage, and it's crazy. Some of the options.
Right.
But yes.
Yeah, the basic is what I have. That's three multi-streaming. The professional is like 8 destinations.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. So yeah, Jess isn't here. We don't have interesting
Yeah,
topics.
I don't
Yeah.
know what to say.
What are you guys drinking tonight?
Iced
Water.
tea.
Oh, you know what I had tonight?
It's
I was going to
freaking
ask
hot as hell out. I'm tired
It's
of this
hot.
humidity. I don't live
Yes.
in Florida. I should not have to deal with this day in and day out.
you. So Joe had his friend over, and they have multiple chips in there. Like they got Pringles, they got
Doritos.
they got chips, and then I love your story about the nachos.
Yes. We had a chip. So I messaged Jessica. So you got my messenger videos of
Yeah, we watched yesterday.
of Carter or whatever the hell his name
It
is
was Carter
now.
the bag boy.
Carter the
Yeah.
bag boy and his
Yeah.
girlfriend.
His
They look like
interest.
they're 12 years old. That public.
They did. I really thought it was bring your kids to work day, and then their parents went away for a smoke break, and they're like, all right, you guys got this, right? Because we're out. And because nothing like making $60 nachos when you could have just bought them for $10. That's how we roll here. We got all that nacho money. So so I asked Jessica what she wants on her nachos so I can buy the different stuff. Does she want steak, chicken, beef? She's like, I want beef. And then she's like, make sure you pick up this. Make sure you pick up this. And I'm like, okay. So I come home with everything, and she looks at my chip selection. She goes, what is this? Chips for the nachos. She's like, what is wrong with you? And so I got the new Doritos, the taco flavored
What?
chips. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
horrible.
So
That's a horrible choice. I'd make you go back to the grocery store and get
well,
another
we
bag.
did have other really good chips in the house too. So if she didn't want the Doritos, that she could have had the other chips. But it was just she looked at them, the chips, and then she just looked at me with this.
Did she not want nachos at all anymore? Because that
No,
probably would be
yes,
my mood. Like
but
completely change
I
my
got
food.
but I got the Kevin, and she says it increasingly more annoyed. She's like, when have you
annoyed.
ever been anywhere and they served you nachos with Doritos? You're supposed to get nacho chips. I go, I don't know what nacho chips are. What are nacho chips? They have 9,000 chips. in the
Tostito
goddamn
brand?
aisle.
Oh my god.
Those
There's
are-
so
those are-
many great
those are-
ones. The new guac
Those aren't
ones.
those are tortilla chips. Those aren't nacho chips. It's like you had to get nacho chips. Like I got Doritos, they're taco flavored, and then I got the Kevin, and then I know when she's really
So
disappointed.
what's the difference between nacho chips and tortilla
I don't know.
chips?
Let him finish.
I don't know. So I always get the Kevin, and then she goes, I love you, and then it's just like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes after the I love. When you said Kevin, when you take that Kevin in 9
There's
syllables.
a fucking butt after that, right?
Yeah. And she just laid into me for these chips, and then I already had the chips open, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm eating the chips, you can have whatever the hell you want. And so she goes, these better be good, and then she eats one, and she's like, you're fucking lucky. And then she eats another one. She's like, these are amazing. And then she started eating the chips. So she makes her nachos, and then, through at dinner. Then she had some more fixin'. She went back for some more chips, and I didn't dare. I wanted to look at her and go, well, they're fucking good, weren't they? So.
Oh, the Tostitos scoops are awesome because then you can make individual little bites. Then you have the queso Tostitos. You have the guac Tostitos. They have all different flavors. The nice restaurant crispy.
What do you do with your nacho? You make like 9,000 individual nachos with your little bowls of.
I do. When I make a
one scallion, one onion.
Yep. It is. I actually have a method when I make my chili, which is it's a beef, but it has beans in it. It's confetti chili, so there's like corn, carrots, vegetables, but it's a very hearty chili. It's not liquid like Cincinnati. Anyway, it goes in each
chili background on the chip question.
Each cup, and then you have to make sure, because with each bite you have cheese on it, sour cream, and it's like a perfect freaking bite. Let me tell you, if you have it that way, you would never go back to just scattered on a plate.
I'm just like
I hate when you get a chip with
she's
like
over
hardly
there
anything
like
on there.
freaking making mini quiches. Like
I even make sure like there's like the same red, like there's a red bean on there. There's like, I want a complete bite.
I just scoop it and shovel it in. I don't care what's on the fork.
I do that if I have it in a bowl.
Yeah.
My favorite chip is crack, and they stopped making crack. My favorite chip is the Tostito multigrain chip.
They don't make them anymore.
They only make them in scoops.
Yep.
Oh, I've never seen the multigrain scoop.
They used to make them in just regular chips,
those were
and I could
good.
sit and eat a bag of those like that. They were sweet.
Yeah.
They were salty. They were so freaking delicious.
Those are the scoops.
And they only and I don't like the scoops because they feel weird when I bite into them.
Yeah, it's like eating a bowl of Captain Crunch.
And
it fucks your mouth all up. Destroys your mouth.
It's like I get jammed freaking pieces in my freaking teeth and my gums.
I love them.
It feels so odd. It feels like I'm eating, like I'm picking up an oyster or a clam, and instead of sucking out the inside, I'm just throwing the whole thing in my fucking mouth. That's what it feels like, and it just feels so bad because the angles of that little bowl is just, it's like, if you don't know how it's going to break off, it is an accident waiting to happen. I have hit the roof of my mouth, I start bleeding, and I'm just like, so she's done with her little individual freaking taco bowls. She'll go, I'm done, you want any more? I'll take them and just go, yep.
Oh yeah, that's how I do it. Plus with the scoops, the scoops, you get too much dip. Like if you're using salsa or anything else, there's too much. There's too much content per scoop.
Yeah, I break them in half, and then because I love the flavor of multigrain, so I'll eat them, but I'll break them in half, and then I'll have to eat them off to the front or the side, because at that point it's a gamble on whether or not you're going to get a good chip and it's going to taste good, or if you're going to get some sort of freaking like booby trap that's going to freaking explode in your mouth and cause damage.
The new guac flavor ones are great, and they're the mini round, so they're like a good size.
I think we had those. We because a lot of times when I see them, we get the Tostitos with a hint of lime.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, those are
really good because you get that sour, then you get that salty, and that is a really, really good chip.
Yeah, I'll try other brands, but Tostitos is just great.
Yeah, I'm more of a Pringles guy if I'm going to have chips, because they're just convenient to eat. They're stacked perfectly. You can get out just a good stack of chips.
I don't know. I like Pringles. I'll eat them, but I like kettle chips, man.
Yeah,
forget about it.
And then they have the new Pringles that have all the Dorito flavors. So I don't know if they're owned by the same company, but you can get the Dorito Cool Ranch Pringles.
Huh. Sounds gross.
Yeah.
I like Cool Ranch, but I don't know if I'd want it on a potato chip.
No. Have you seen the freaking ones, the different videos where the guys will get different flavors and then they'll stack them to add and combine flavors?
Oh, I never thought about
that. Kind of like
that.
you do at Starburst.
I can't remember who one of the actor who does it, but they actually have the different things. They'll be like, if you take a hot Pringle with a Cool Ranch Pringle and then a cheese Pringle, it's like a freaking hot taco, something like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. But no, Starburst, no, you eat them one at a time. It's like jelly beans. You eat them one at a time, one color, or you eat multiple colors at once. But you never
the
mix
big
colors.
ones that I have to unwrap, yes, I eat them one at a time. But the ones that are the unwrapped, the little minis that are real waxy and tiny, they're like a chiclet size. Those,
I've seen them.
I like
I've
to
never
mush
had
them together because
Yeah.
they're so freaking small. And then I'll just kind of make them into like a bigger square. So I'll make them into like the full size Starburst square.
Instead of buying a full size.
And
Yeah,
you
instead
get
of buying a
multiple,
full size.
and then you get
Yeah,
a multiple flavor. But they
Yeah.
are very waxy. I would get them when we
They're
used to
very
go to the
waxy.
theater.
When I'm done, I
They're
feel like I need to
super
scrape
waxy.
my mouth and throat.
Yeah.
But I do have a bag in there of regular
Starburst in general
I
are
love them.
waxy.
Oh no.
They
I love
they
them.
taste
Those
like
and
I'm eating
Skittles.
it with the freaking wrapper on it.
No.
Yeah, it
I
does.
love
Yeah.
them.
And yes, you don't buy the new.
Twizzlers,
I could buy a new
Starburst,
full size
Skittles, my top
Starburst.
three.
No, I'll just mush them all together and make this makeshift rustic
Yeah.
Starburst.
And Sour Patch Kids, I've been eating more of again lately.
I'm addicted to these. We were up at the farmers market, and I'm like, ooh, look, black licorice, and I love black
hate
licorice.
it.
But that was it, Australian black licorice,
I saw you mention that.
and it was it's brutal. You pop the container, the smell will knock you on your butt. After the first couple, I'm like, these are disgusting, and now it's just like it's literally like crack. You're eating them, it's like you get the jitters if you don't eat them, and it's just they are. It is amazing, Jessica. Like I'll come to bed, and she'll be like, "You've been eating that goddamn black licorice," and I'm like, "I'm hooked on it. I'm
I
sorry."
never liked it.
It was
Never-
like
I
that
hate
gum that they used to
smell.
have back in the day, like my dad when our dads were younger.
Oh yeah, that was what was that black or like that licorice type of gum? I know what you're
It
talking
was
about.
horrible.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad's like, "Oh," I'm like, "What? He
Look
got
it
it?" And
up.
he's like, "I used to chew this when I was a kid," and I chose like, "It's fucking tar, Dad. This is
Yeah.
horrible."
Yeah.
Oh no, this is great. Sensen or Sinsen.
Yeah. Sinsen?
I think it's that.
I don't know.
It's Sensen. Sen.
Yeah.
And it's horrible.
I love black. When I was growing up, my grandfather, I don't have a lot of memories. My grandfather, he died when I was really young, but it was always bowls of black licorice
There's
jelly
blackjack.
beans. Blackjack is what I'm thinking of.
And what is it?
Yeah.
Find out what's in
Yeah.
blackjack.
Black licorice.
It's Sensen.
Right there.
Look up Sensen. You did not look
Blackjack,
up Sensen.
Tea-berry, and
She's not going to look up
Beeman's.
Sensen.
I am going back to it now.
I'm telling you, look it up.
But yeah, so it wasn't until I was an adult that I figured that I realized that how disgusting were bowls of open jelly beans all over the house, like in the
Yeah.
bathroom. Like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and you're eating like jelly beans.
Yep.
Now I think about it, and I'm like, how did I not have pink eye more often?
The invention
I
of the
don't-
black light.
Yeah, it's yeah, I love black
It's-
licorice, but
It's like an
I-
anise flavored gum.
Huh?
Anise.
Anise.
anise. Yeah.
Sensen.
I still
Did
know
you look
what
up-
sense it
Yeah.
is.
I've asked you to look it up like 5
looking up
times. I asked you not.
blackjack.
Okay, look up blackjack then.
So, Sensen, how do you spell it?
I don't know. Left Eye Lisa. Fucking Lopez. She died. No, she didn't. Yeah, she died. No,
Yeah.
she didn't. She died. No, she didn't. Hey, you
Yeah.
know she
Sensen.
died?
Oh, wait, is it?
You
heard
Isn't
it
she that
somewhere.
one that died?
Yeah, I heard
yeah,
that somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that it? Sensen
Yeah.
Confectioners? Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show it to Kevin. I've never seen that. I saw the other one. Where's the camera?
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I know blackjack.
Yeah, I know blackjack as well. It's odd packaging.
Yeah. It was freaking look up Sensen from back in the day.
Yeah. But too much of there was just that article a couple months ago that guy died from eating too much licorice, black licorice, and I guess he was eating like he was like addicted to it, and he ate like a bag a day every day for a week, and that was enough to kill
Oh
him.
my god, that's so gross.
Yeah, and it was so something to do with the anise or something, you'll die.
I can imagine, man.
It
Yeah.
just sounds rough.
Yeah, that was back then. It was the inability to I best back in 1919, 1920s, 30s, and 40s and 50s. They didn't have all that great artificial flavoring.
It had mercury or cocaine in it.
Yep.
That was
Exactly.
the two major flavorings, mercury or cocaine.
Yep.
you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like the memes that were going around because Coke just redid their Coke Zero again.
Yeah.
And someone created the memes like, "Damn it, Coke! either put the cocaine back in it or stop fucking around.
Yeah. Yeah, good old mercury or
Mercurochrome.
oh yeah.
Was the
that was the
yeah.
freaking cure-all when we were kids, man. Everybody walk around with bright orange or bright red freaking marks on your body.
God.
Let that absorb into your skin.
Yeah,
Fuck.
some mercury. We were just watching a documentary or some kind of show on the over in China where they have all the clay soldiers, like thousands of them that were
Yeah.
buried. So there's like one room that's like walled off that they really don't know, like they're not allowed in it.
Yep.
But it was to simulate the water of the empire. It was a lake of mercury.
Yeah.
And they say that was, and they found one lake of mercury in one of the Aztec or Incan pyramids or whatever. But back then, and they're wondering how they are actually produced, literally thousands of gallons of mercury. And just I don't even. How are you in that room?
That section in China is still buried.
Yeah.
They won't unearth it because of how freaking poisonous.
Well,
it
yeah,
is, 'cause they suspect
that's
it
what
to
they were
be,
saying
yeah.
because of that room. I guess they got cameras back there or something, so they know that's in there. But yeah, that's a big thing.
That's
where did
crazy.
you just wondered how they were able to produce that much mercury. I don't know how mercury's made. I don't know where it's mined, how we get it. So but yeah, to produce a swimming pool full of it 2,000 years ago, probably not that easy.
Why did the Incas become extinct? I don't know. Let me ballpark that one for a minute.
Yeah.
Human
they blamed
sacrifices and a pool of mercury.
They blamed it on the white man coming over, but yeah, it was a pool of mercury.
That's interesting.
Exactly. Well, they used to go crazy and just do human
Bathe in it.
sacrifices all the time, and then they bathed in mercury. Yeah, it was those white guys who came over. That's what it is. We'll blame it on the white guys.
Yeah. But yeah,
They brought over a whole bunch of diseases. Well, it's swimming in mercury.
We watch all those old shows, and it's like all the titans of industry and just all the stuff, lead, mercury, and it was leaded gas when that came, just the amount of lead that was in the air.
Well,
was
and mercury is a rare metal found in the Earth's crust. So it says it's so rare, it's quite expensive. Filling an entire pool full of liquid mercury would cost thousands, if not millions of dollars.
That's kind of a broad thousands, if not millions.
Due to the
That's
density of liquid mercury.
Yeah, this year I think we're going to make thousands or maybe millions
either.
of dollars this year, Kev. That's
Yeah.
The business is doing well. We're going to make thousands to millions of dollars.
So
I didn't know mercury was that dense.
Yeah,
you
in
can't,
perspective, you could technically walk on it. There's very little friction on the surface of liquid mercury, so standing, much less walking, would be challenging because there's no surface friction. But it's that.
We got to go buy a
dense.
whole bunch of old thermometers and just
break 'em
break
up.
them and see if we can walk on mercury.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of them YouTubers we should convince to do that. They're always doing dumb shit.
I remember playing with mercury when a thermometer would broke.
We all had freaking mercury
broken
thermometers.
thermometer.
We did not in our house.
We did. We did not. Thermometer.
Yeah.
Shake it.
Shake down that mercury. Oh, it broke.
Really
Can I
kinda
play with the
looking-
mercury, Mom? Yeah, sure. Here, take it out back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I only ever remember digital thermometers. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
I didn't have a digital one until I was probably on my own.
The mercury thermometer is what misled me to the ass thermometer story.
Yeah, that's true. I think you've told that on here.
I did.
Yes.
Yeah. It was in the same container, same thing. I saw it. It reminded me of when I was a kid. Didn't realize that it was being used for the old ass thermometer.
Yeah. Now they have the electric one. They just hold up to your. Even my doctor only uses the
temporal.
That one, and he's not doing good. I just read an article on him, and man, whole family got COVID. Like COVID supreme, like ravaged his family. He's in the ICU, and he just got the new. What is the new treatment? I guess that's going around now. So he just got. Yeah, he just got that one. I forget what they call it.
I didn't read up on it, but I know that in Israel they have a treatment now that if you have COVID, they're pretty much saying that it's got a very good high rate of
Yeah,
success.
I
of
didn't think
healing.
it was over here yet, though. I read that
No.
article too. That was earlier in the week. But there is a new treatment regime for early onset symptoms. I just don't know because there's on the news showing pictures of people in Florida going to libraries to get this, and because it's just the hospitals are so full, and like people are just like lying on the ground.
Wow, it's a Regeneron.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that they've been using.
They've
that.
been using that, yeah.
That's
Oh,
not
have
new.
they? Okay,
Yeah.
I've only been hearing that like the last like week or so.
No, that's
Like-
been
like-
around from the beginning.
Yeah, they've
Oh,
been
ha-
using
oh,
that
have
from the
they?
beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's got that. My boss has COVID. He's been out for he doesn't have it. His wife got because him and his wife and his daughter were scheduled for their first shot like 2 weeks ago on a Friday, and then she woke up with his wife like 104-degree fever. So she went and got tested. She's got COVID. A couple days later, his daughter, she went and tested, got positive, and his wife's not doing. She's got like some weird rare lung disease. like there's no treatment for her. I mean, she's like at the Mayo Clinic all the time, and it's but yeah, so she hasn't been doing too well. You throw COVID on top of that.
Oh yeah, God Almighty, that's terrible. That's terrible.
So he's been out of work, and he's an anti-masker, an anti the shot.
Anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers, and
Yeah.
I've met a few and talked to a few, and it's odd how they, not say odd sarcastically, but they really kind of change their tune when someone they know gets it, or if they it hits a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Duncan did his show with two guys that were anti-vaxxers. And the
Yeah.
one guy was in a hospital for a while. It was
Yeah.
touch and go, and it was a little bit eye-opening for the other guy who, all right, let me have it. I mean, and I remember him talking to Duncan when he got back, and he's like, boy, was I dumb.
Yeah, and it was the CDC just announced, was it Thursday or so, that for the certain, I guess if you fall into some category, they're recommending you go get a third shot right away.
The immunosuppressed
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get a booster.
Get a booster, early booster makes complete sense, especially with what's going on. I mean, it's going to be a couple of years till things kind of level off, and they get a better grip on the different variants that could occur, and how often a booster shot should be given, and all points in between. But they're definitely staying on top of it as best they can. It's just the compliance. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yeah, and I don't know how true it was. Reading an article online, and I guess they were saying restaurants in New York. I don't know if it's just New York City or wherever. They're requiring to see your vaccination card before they let you inside.
Peace Center here in Greenville,
Yeah.
where they do shows, you have to be vaccinated. We were just talking the other day at work about this, that there's there's a couple football stadiums that they're requiring you to have vaccine shot and then proof of vaccine shot, at least one shot, to get to see the game. So
wow.
The bright idea that they had was they're going to set up a tent and give vaccinations out in the parking lot, and it's like,
It's not going to do anything.
it's not going to do
at that
anything.
time.
It's not like, hey, I got my shot 10 minutes ago. I waited. I didn't have a reaction. Can I get in to see the game? You're still not protected. You have to allow your body to process that, that vaccine, and actually build up the antibodies and do what it does. You just don't get a shot and then next thing you know you're cured. This isn't Hollywood.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming, like, especially if it's a dual shot, how many of those people aren't going to go back for their second,
Yeah.
or are they just getting the one? I don't.
Most of those. I mean, honestly, at that point, if you're getting a fucking shot at a tent at a freaking Buccaneers game, the odds are you're getting a vaccine shot to see a football game. If that's what's motivating you, you might be in a little bit of trouble.
Maybe they should give them a ticket for like a game 21 to 28 days later. So this way, when they come back, they get their second shot, and then
No.
At least it's complete.
No.
I think that
then
would
you're
work.
incentivizing stupidity at
Well,
that point in time.
At least they're still getting it. That's like,
I
Clemson. I think Clemson and USC said, I don't know if they actually did it, that with proof of vaccines, you get a free laptop, you get this, you get that. But private businesses across the U.S. now,
Gotta be vaccinated.
They're right. They can legally say you have to be vaccinated, show proof of it.
Yeah, there's Zuckerberg was just talking on one of the shows the other morning, and like people coming back into the office of Facebook, they're requiring proof of vaccine. To come back into.
Stella wants to be on.
Jess under there?
Can you pick her
Yeah,
up?
Skylar, and in order to come back to work, and then a lot of companies are having a problem with people quitting. For a lot of companies are requiring employees to come back to work, and hey, Skylar, quiet. So and a lot of people that they're so used to working from home, it's just they don't want to come back to work. I know our HR department's all working from home, and I really wish they would go back to work because they're not getting any work done.
Yeah.
When I have to call my head of HR and I hate to say this, but her kids are screaming in the background. She can't concentrate on what I'm asking her to do. And it's just like what is going on in your house? I understand you got daycare, you got little kids. But it's just like you need when work time is work time. You separate yourself, and
you have to be productive. If you're going to work from home, you have to be productive. And there's a lot of folks that have learned to be productive while working from home. Yep. Even our office, we had 2 floors, and the one floor they just got rid of, and folks still come in from time to time. But a lot of folks like working from home. They get more. They become more efficient by doing it, and it's tough. I got to tell you. I can't imagine working in an office and working from home. When I went from working in the field to working from home, it probably took me about 6 months.
Yeah.
Because for 6 months, I literally was like walking around the house. It's like I don't know what to do. I cannot compute. And you start learning it, and you get into a groove. When I went up to Chicago for a meeting, and one of the days, because our meeting started later, so one of the days we had to go into the office, and I'm like, I walk boop 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 boop, and I'm in the office. I'm like, I didn't know what to do. I'm like in this cubicle with people around me, and they're like, "Hey, Kerry, I got a question for you." I'm like, I'm used to being alone.
Just Skype me real quick, and I'll answer your question.
Yeah, it was really odd. It was nice to be able to have some human interaction. But it was just I've been so stuck and used to in the last
people are so used to being isolated
2+ years being here. I was working from home before COVID, so I was already kind of accustomed to it. But it's just really weird getting into an environment where you're in an office, and I'm like, is there where I can hide and like just kind of because I felt very awkward.
Yeah, and some companies, I guess there's a company. It's called, and I was reading up a little bit about it, and it was one journalist that had to go into like an office like twice a week, and it's something called WeWork. I guess it's an office. It's owned by a third party, but you bring in your laptop, you bring in everything, and they have cubicles set up, and then areas where you can work. So it's still an office, but not owned by your company. And that I'm like, why wouldn't you just let them work from home at that point? I don't know. Why make them go? Why make them go into another?
Unless they just think at home there's too many distractions. So at least if they're in some sort of structured environment, they'll get more work done.
And I don't know if it's Google or if it's Facebook, because a lot of people, like I said, are getting the option of staying at home, so that they don't have and they don't like Twitter. You never have to come back ever.
Yep.
They finally said that you're done. But some of these bigger companies now, people are taking pay cuts because they're saying, hey, we've been paying you a wage because you lived in San Francisco or you worked in an office in San Francisco based on this environment. This is how much you would be paid. Some people have been moving. I guess Utah is being flooded, and same with Nevada, of people just moving out there because it's cheaper to work. now the companies are like, hey, we're going to adjust your salary to what that demographic gets paid, and a lot of people are irritated. No, I make this money, and companies are like, no, you made that because you lived, in a different climate.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
So, are we allowed to talk about the admirer?
Yeah, Jessica's probably without going in too graphic.
And I can't talk about it.
I'm not surprised that she has admirers. You figure she has over
either.
6,000 followers.
Well, but we talked about it
some,
earlier. You're going to get folks that are going to contact you.
Oh yeah, she follows my follower count more than I do. Like every day, she'd be like, "You're at 6,112 now," and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, once I hit 5,000, I was happy. And I'm like, I'm done watching. I think I'm almost at 6,000.
But how do you handle an admirer when they contact you and push the envelope, and when you establish things like I'm in a relationship, or I don't do drugs, or whatever's being asked of you?
Especially when it's of the same sex too.
But even same sex or opposite sex. But I think opposite sex, probably most people are going to think that you just shut it down right away.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would think so.
Same sex, you allow a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah.
I think regardless, if the intent is to seek some sort of romantic relationship or whatever, I think it's establish that's the line, and if it goes over the line, you go, I drew the line. Now you're being now you're not listening to what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So it's time to go away. Time to block.
Yeah, especially when it's a girl reaching out to another girl. I can only assume the other girl's like, oh, so you're married, so I can send you pictures or videos, and your husband's probably not going to say anything about it, and maybe it seems easier. I don't know. But
well, see, I think that is where it's unfair.
Yeah,
I think it's unfair because honestly, if a girl contacted you and sent you pictures, you think I'd be okay with it versus and here's the unfair part about it is you hear all these influencers or women online going, I'm sick and tired of seeing dick pics. I'm sick and tired of seeing this. You know what? If you want to send a dick pic, okay, great. So, but it's okay if someone sends you some boobies or something else. It's got to be one or the other. You can't allow a lot of flexibility to allow nude body parts to be sent and allow flexibility, because if a girl sent me a nude shot, you'd go through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica, give me your screen name.
And I would be like, listen,
I'm gonna
before
text
you
Jen
even
real
took your
quick.
before you even took your phone away, I would already be
It's-
Googling
yeah.
and
Well,
have the name and.
but you see,
know.
but if a girl contacted you, because I'm a lesbian, I like girls.
Yeah.
Why can't I see a picture of a girl? I mean,
no,
it doesn't make sense. It's double standards, and
It is a double
I
standard.
think it's just
I agree.
you got to draw the line, and once they cross that line, once it's drawn, you just got to be like, hey, listen, I appreciate it, I understand, thank you very much for the compliment, but you got to stop, or I got to block you. End of story. Because I've had, like I said, I had a guy reach out to me, hey, small talk, comment, yeah, I'm not into that. Next comment, yeah, if I'm not into that, I'm really not into that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
If I don't want you snuggling me, I do not.
Yeah. And I don't know with guys, why is that always the dick pic? That's the go-to. And like that's gonna girls gonna be like, oh, you're a stranger, but that looks nice. Let's get to know each other. Just like
that. That's the hook right there.
Yeah. What are these guys thinking?
I
Like
don't know.
that's your go-to. Just send that. If I had abs, maybe I'd be like, ooh, look at my abs. I don't know. But I do not
And
have
a
those.
earlobe.
Because here's the reason why. Because women, I shouldn't say this. I'll probably get canceled.
You can go ahead.
But if you're a guy and you send abs, you're like, look at my abs. You know they're gonna be like, oh yeah, well, freaking abs, great. That's not what moves me. What do you got under the hood?
Yeah.
Well, so you're skipping the middleman. You're going.
Yeah, going right to the jump.
Now, I do not in any way, shape, or form freaking encourage that. I think it's odd. It's like I said, it would be, gosh, you're really hot, man. I really think you're cool. What do you think of my? It's there.
Yeah.
There is no. There. It's like going from 0 to 100 in like a second, and it's just completely odd and it's weird.
Well, and now that
And it
the
would be
internet and social media has taken on a whole life of its own, it's, I think, more prevalent now than it was.
I think one of the funniest
ago.
things that women have ever done to get back at that is they go to OnlyFans and they're like, or fans only, and they're like, okay, send me your dick pics, send me $5, and I'll rate it.
Oh, that was I
Speaking
saw.
of
I don't know.
OnlyFans, we need to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, no, we
The
will.
new,
But I think that would be great. It's like, I think that was the best.
Oh, you can
Wait.
rate pictures?
Yeah, they rate pictures. They're like, hey, you want your penis rated? Give me, send me a dick pic. Send me $10 at a dick pic, and I'll rate your penis.
I didn't know that.
At that point in time, you're paying somebody money to tell you, you know what? You're kind of small.
Yeah.
You got a funny shaped dick. You know what?
Yeah.
There's no way. Please, I'll give you your money back. That's how bad it is. And then you can get the opportunity to make someone feel poor about it because they sent you the money. So I thought that was the greatest combat
funny.
against sending dick pics.
That's brilliant. And I was just reading an article the other day on the Catch Me Outside girl. You remember her?
Yeah.
No, who's
And
that?
What? How do you know all the other stupid shit, but you don't know
I-
Catch Me Outside, all right?
No.
The chick from Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Oh, I saw.
What were you going to say,
I
Kevin?
don't know.
We'll let Kevin tell his story.
Was there
try.
a reunion
What?
recently? Or no, that was Maury Povich. I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
I don't know who
If
she
you
is.
still watching the Maury Povich though, I don't know. Like nobody knows.
Just need help at work?
Yeah. So she created an OnlyFans and she set a record, $1 million her first day on OnlyFans.
What?
And then she actually just bought a $4 million home here in Florida. She has got some money. That idiot. I don't want to say idiot.
You can say idiot because
I'm going to say idiot. When that all started, then she got into like her little rap career. Apparently, she's got like a rap thing. She's actually done very well. She's worth like $8 million.
I don't understand.
yeah,
She's got an agent. She's invested in real estate, and she's actually doing really well. Like she's managing her money well, and she's doing really good. And then I was impressed after reading the article. I'm like, this girl she got herself set up. I would figure she'd have made this money and she'd have snorted it all up,
Yeah.
and then we'd have heard that she died somewhere. But apparently she's doing really, really well.
So going back, who was she on Dr. Phil? I didn't watch Dr. Phil a lot. That's Carrie's sister loves Dr. Phil.
she is.
I watched
here.
all the other stupid shows.
I'll look her up. She was one of those troubled teens that used to get in trouble all the time, and then they kind of had her.
Send her to like a treatment place.
Basically, she was on the show, and they were all like giving her a hard time, and I guess she was here.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Like so funny. She's talking about the audience and they're laughing. Oh, and all these hoes laughing like so funny. She's talking about the audience and they're laughing at her.
Did you say the hoes are laughing?
Yeah,
So
The
the audience
hoes
are
are-
a bunch of hoes.
yeah.
No, I don't know who she is.
Oh yeah, why?
Yeah. Catch me outside. How about that?
Catch you outside.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Yeah. And Dr. Yeah. And
So what did
And
she
Dr.
do on
Phil,
OnlyFans?
what's that?
What did she do on OnlyFans to make her money?
She's the
I
Catch
just-
Me Outside chick. I don't know.
That's it.
Just
said that?
and I don't know if they were nudes. I don't know. I don't follow her on OnlyFans. So I don't know what she.
Who do you follow on OnlyFans?
Yeah. No, nobody. Actually, I don't follow anybody. I rarely even post on there. So, but But yeah, so man, $1 million for first day on OnlyFans. God,
That's crazy.
Right.
it's absolutely insane. But yeah, and then all of Dr. Phil, how he got his start with Oprah. You know?
I do remember that because I
Yeah.
early on watched Oprah, or my mom would watch
Oh, my
it.
God.
And I remember Dr. Phil being on there, as well as some other people that branched off on their own.
And then
Yeah, because he was
Steve
just he was
Wilco.
Yeah.
because Dr. Phil was hired by Oprah to I guess he was a guy helped clients or pick juries, and that's what he did, because she got sued by the beef council because she said nobody should eat beef or something like that, like beef is bad, so they sued her. And then so she hired him to help pick the jury in her favor. So apparently that's what he did. He whittled down and tried and get as many people on the jury and then I don't know, got his show. And
Steve
Yeah.
Wilco was his bodyguard guy, and he has his own show.
I know Dr. Phil's son
I thought-
married a playmate.
oh
Or
yeah,
a porn star. I don't know which one it is.
I thought Steve Wilco was Jerry Springer's
Was
guy.
he? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
He
just
was his
amazing
bodyguard.
how they all spring
Yeah,
off of each
Wilco
other.
was Springer's
Was he? I thought he was
bodyguard on the
Dr.
show.
Phil.
But I
Yeah.
do know Dr. Phil's son married either a porn star or a playmate, and they just had a kid.
Yeah. Would you hear Hugh Hefner's son? I don't know if it was Marson or Cooper. He pretty much gave up the empire to join the military.
Really?
And, yeah, he was I guess set to be CEO of Playboy, and he stepped down to join the either Army or the Marines.
I didn't even know Playboy was still around once Hefner died.
Yeah.
They were and honestly, I say it is a fantastic magazine to read. I mean, it really is. I mean, such in-depth articles.
Yeah.
And I subscribed for the longest time, and then they succumbed to the left wing. They took out all the nudity for I don't know how long, a couple of years, which that didn't bother me, but it was like the articles that started to go real far left, and it's like, you know what, I'm out. And then I guess when Hugh Hefner died and one of the sons took it over, they kind of tried to go back to the old Playboy, with really good articles on both sides of the aisle, and then I never went back to it.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure when his son joined the military, he's got some money in savings.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what. Because he had sold Playboy before he died to a like an investment group, and I don't know. There was a whole big thing. I remember hearing the story of when he and it was something with when Hugh Hefner. I can't remember the whole story. Like when he wanted to settle down with one of the playmates, he actually had his chief of security load up cases upon cases of film and pictures on a boat and actually take it offshore and dump, I guess, cases of photos and film of that is supposedly some of the most elite in Hollywood, and just dumped it in the ocean. And that was confirmed by the head of security and Hugh Hefner. He's like, but nobody would ever say what was in it.
You mean they didn't get there was no ocean, environmentalist that
Yeah, I don't. How do you not look in those boxes? Like it's
Exactly.
like gonna just peek a little bit and see what's in it. But
head of security came back with maybe a little bit of a sampling.
Yeah, it just a little bit. But yeah, no, he said just threw it all overboard and sank to the bottom of the ocean, and we'll never know what was in there.
Wow.
So, but yes, OnlyFans had a big announcement this week.
Yeah, which I understood. Like it says they're not going to have sexually explicit stuff on there, but just nudity. So
Yeah, I got the email since I have an account. So yeah, it said nudity is still allowed.
Yeah. Basically, I'm sure you can still do your DM, like, your private stuff DM.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming so.
I'm assuming. I don't know if it's going to hit all of that, but I did read a quick article that they're doing well, but they still need investors, and having a site that has sexually explicit pictures and videos, it's tough to get investors.
Yeah,
So that's
I
why
would
they're
think.
shifting to.
Oh, is that? I didn't know that's
yeah,
what it was.
nudity
You
only.
would think that they wouldn't need investors. They've, everything you hear about, they're just making hand over
Well,
fist. a
you
ton
hear
of
about the
freaking money.
people making tons of money. I mean, sometimes, and Kevin, you know this. Sometimes the I don't want to say the worst thing that can happen to a business, but the hardest thing that can happen to a business is growing quickly
Yeah.
and not having the funds to be able to sustain that growth.
Yeah, and then you need, which a lot of people don't understand, like on like especially like you take Facebook and then like and even OnlyFans, how much server space do they need? So so it costs me to run my website. It's a couple of $1,000s a year. Like I have 2 physical servers. Like there's a building somewhere with 2 servers that you can touch that belong to me. I don't share them with anybody else. They're for me and as much storage as I can put on those 2 servers. And that's for my little website. Now imagine OnlyFans. How many servers they have to
Yeah.
have? Facebook. How many servers do they have to have? And that, and like I said, I spend a couple grand a year. So I mean, what
I
is
never thought
that?
of that.
Yeah, what is that revolving to have, hundreds of thousands of photos and videos like Google? I upload terabytes of information to YouTube, just alone, just YouTube. And like all that is being stored on a physical device somewhere.
And you figure if you go and you're growing, and yes, the people on OnlyFans are making money, and the company gets a certain percentage of it. But now you go from needing 2 devices, a couple of $1,000s a year, to needing multiple devices, ranging from tens of thousands to hundreds of $1,000s a year, and the money you're bringing in because of your growth, you're basically paying just to be able to just address that one
Yeah.
area, so you can keep the business growing. You don't have any other revenue for anything else. So you can see some companies grow that fast, and they're like, well, shit, now what?
Yeah, I mean, you see it. I mean, I see it. I'm looking at my business bank account, and I'm like, oh my god, like there's money in this. And then the machine shop calls me up, and like, hey, your parts are ready. Just bring us that $11,000 check tomorrow, and you can
Yep.
pick up. Like, damn it.
Yep.
And then this shop calls, hey, your parts are done. We need $2,000. And then the plater calls, like, hey, your parts are done. We need $900. And it's like, oh, and I'm back to nothing. And it's just. And then you start,
And you build it up,
you start,
build it up.
you start building it up, and it's all there, and then now I'm out of parts. And now it's like, oh, so now I got to spend another, $10,000, $12,000, and it's just, you get to you always keep a little bit. You put it off to the side, but it's never ending.
Especially like with cigars, like you may place an order and have it X amount of money, say $10,000, right? And you bring in your cigars and you start selling them, and you may have $10,000 worth of cigars. It may be a $20,000 value, right? If someone was to say, I want all your cigars today, you would say, okay, well, here it is, $20,000. But that doesn't happen. It starts building and building and building, and then when you start realizing, okay, well, I need to place another order because I'm growing, you may only be at that mark where you're at $12,000 now. So then you got to take another 10 grand, place your next order, and then you got to start building, and it's that vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's cyclical.
And at some point, you're going to reach the level where you're bringing in on a regular basis money that is going to double and triple what you were normally doing, so you can keep the inventory. That's what a smaller to mid-sized companies, especially like in the cigar business, I can speak to, is it gets challenging. So that's why guys who do have family money, or they do have whatever money, however they got it, whether it's family money or maybe they saved a shit ton of money, they have that capital to be able to invest into that in your company and sustain during those really hectic growth periods. It's the same when someone opens a cigar shop. You have to have you got to take into consideration your overhead, your month to month overhead. So once you kind of take that into consideration, then you got to fill your humidor, and you got to have $25,000 to $30,000 worth of merchandise in that humidor, and then you got to go, and you may sell the living shit out of one brand, and you're like, well, I gotta reorder that, but maybe I'm not equally selling all my other brands, so the money that's coming in, kind of hurts my ability to reorder that brand, because I'm still paying my overhead and my own salary. And that's why if you're in an area, it's like people with some good capital, you got to take into consideration that first year, 2 years, it's going to be rough.
Yeah.
It is, and especially that initial capital to open up a cigar shop. If it's $50,000 or $100,000, you're never getting that money back ever. That's what's sitting on your shelves. Now you're working to keep those shelves full. So that initial investment, that $100,000, that's gone.
Yep.
That is never coming back, ever. You're never getting that money back.
Yep.
So now everything that comes after that, now you get a small piece of that. And that's what people don't understand. And that's why I limit how many wholesale accounts that I have. Because it irritates me when you someone like, hey, I want to sell your product. I'm like, well, I'll get you on the waiting list. I have product here, but I don't want to give it wholesale. And some people get mad. Well, why don't you want to wholesale it? Well, because if I sell it to you, I make $2. If I sell it to this guy over here, I make $8, $10, $12.
Right.
I want to make that money. I don't have to wholesale to you. I don't need your business. I have more business than I know what to do with. And I said, I don't need your business. Get in line, and then when I get product, then we can talk about wholesale, So, and then cigars, that's just a whole nother, ball game right there, because you're on the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you love selling on your website. That's awesome. You get to keep the bulk of the money. But then when FH2 or somebody else, hey, we want some of your cigars, you're like, no, I want to sell myself.
On our end, it's actually I want cigar shops to sell our cigars. I want to be able to do that.
Because the more you sell, the more you make.
Right.
And then when you tell Chris, I'm sure Chris is, like on my side, if I order 1,000 pieces, I pay a little bit more than if I ordered 10,000. Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit better break. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is like that to a point, but it's still, I still think the profit margins, in the cigar industry are greater, and you can still do well. Obviously, you sell retail, it's even better. But it's being able to have the consistent flow of orders. I'd rather have 50 orders and make $10 a box than have it and make $50 a box, but have to sit on it for a long period of time.
Yeah.
We sell our stuff online to try and get people to like it. Like we sent out a sampler to a shop in Chicago that I'll be reaching out to, because a guy in Chicago bought our sampler and loved it, told the guys about it, and said, I'm going to have them send you a sampler. So we're hoping, to get someone to bring us in. The conversations and the back and forth in that area is tough when you're a boutique, because, they always look at their shelves and they see the AJs, the Perdomos, the Fuentes, the everybody else, and these are guaranteed. And why should I bring your stuff in? And that's a whole different story that I had in a conversation the other day about tobacconists and their ability to introduce their customers to brands in the humidor that are new or that may be boutique, versus sitting there and playing freaking Candy Crush while someone walks by you and goes in the humidor.
Yeah, and that's why I like the cigar shops that have dedicated sections just for boutique cigars. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, I've been in not as many as you, but and then tons of lounges where everything will be mixed in together. Like, well, I'll get a Stogie Road next to a Tatuaje, and I love it when there's like a wall of boutiques or a whole shelf, and then it's labeled boutique. You're like, oh, let me just look through here, and But that's a job of a good tobacconist.
Something new, something different. I remember when Duncan had his shop. I liked that about his shop when he opened it was he had his wall of boutique cigars, and then he had his standard.
Yeah.
And at some point, I've been to some shops. This standard is 80-20, 75-25 standard versus boutique. But I've been to a lot of shops that were really heavy boutique. And when you walk in, they're like, hey, I'm looking for, Fuente. Oh, you like Dominican. What do you like about the cigar? Well, hey, look, here we got a GTO. This is made in the Dominican Republic. Similar tobacco, similar taste profile. Give this a try. And you have someone who really understands regions, tobaccos, the flavor profile of said tobacco, and their ability to direct them to a boutique. If someone says, hey, I like AJ Fernandez. What do you like about AJ? Oh, you like the Nicaraguan, you like the pepper, you like the spice. Well, here's a Big Tony, or here's an Edition 35, a Nicaraguan tobacco. This is a bar pulse, so you get a little bit more creaminess to it versus, all pepper. And that's a good tobacconist that could be able to speak to their customers, find out what they like, find out if they want to try something different, and then direct them to some of these brands.
Yeah, and it's the point of, because I've been in my local shop, and I'll walk in there and I never know what I want. I'm in there for 15 minutes, just walking around, staring, and it's just like I don't know what I want. I don't want to know. I don't get out to shops that often. It's like I just want to smoke something new, and then it's like, oh, there's the new Camacho, there's the new AJ, there's the new whatever, and it's like, I don't want that, I don't want that, and then they'll just leave me in there, by myself, and they think that I know what that I want, like, oh, it's Kevin, he knows cigars, but it's like, no, come in here and tell me what you got new.
Yeah.
What is the new, and it's unfortunate because the owner of the shop does have his own cigar line as well, so he knows the power of boutiques, and he's actually the only boutique in his shop. He doesn't even bring in any other boutiques but himself. So usually 9 times out of 10, I'll just grab something I've smoked a million times. Just like, fuck it. I'll just grab this and smoke it. And then we've been into other shops. We were one in New Orleans when we were out there, Jessica and I, and the owner was hovering. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hey, have you heard of this?
Like that,
try
here.
it.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just please, just back off. Give me a second. You want to hang out in here if I have a question, or if you want to say, hey, we got this new, answer my questions, and then back the hell off.
Yeah.
Just.
No, we have a place like that around here too. And if you're like, look, I've been in here a lot. I'm not going to rob you.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what I want, or I know what I want. Bode a cigar to the pipes and cigar shop down the road here. Those guys are really great at that. I go in there. They carry my stuff. I go in there all the time. Every time I see them, hey, Kerr, hey, how's it going? We should shit a little bit, and I'll be like, hey, man, what do you got in there? It's new. Well, let me show you. So they'll walk in there, or they'll even ask you, hey, have you tried this yet? And we'll sit there and shoot the shit. I see these guys all the time. They know me, but they're always asking, did you see this? Did you know this came out? Were you aware that we just got this in? And they direct you to what's newer. Or if you say, I haven't tried anything, do you have anything new? They'll start asking you, what your flavor profile is. And that's actually Ernest. He works for Aganorsa Leaf now. I walked in one day. He goes, "Hey man, what's up?" I'm like, "How much, man?" I said, "What do you got this?" I said, I want something like kind of. I'm not in the mood for anything bold or crazy. I want something a little bit more mellow. He's like, come here. I got something for you. And he introduced me to the Warhawk, the Henry Clay Warhawk.
Yeah.
I would have never thought to buy that cigar.
Yeah.
And I smoked it, and I was like, what a great Connecticut. I mean, very mild.
I've got like a 5-pack left. Yeah.
But I mean, great with coffee. If you're not in the mood just perfect cigar. And I was like, shit. Now when people start talking about Connecticut's, I'm like, try this one, because this one's fantastic. I mean, if you really want something creamy, mellow, has some nice flavor to it, some cedary stuff to it, but really a well blended, very mild cigar that just has a lot of flavor to it. This is where you want to go.
Yeah, I've got, and I'll try to remember to dig those out. I've got a couple of Warhawks that have been aging for a couple of years, and I smoked one of them. I don't know, a month ago. Oh my God, was it fantastic? Just time has
Yeah.
just done well with that cigar.
Smooth as hell, man. It is just so smooth, and with a good coffee in the morning. Oh my God, it's such a great way to start your day, or to end your day. I mean, and that's why you get good tobacconists that they know their humidor, they know what's new, they know the boutiques. They'll they'll bring you on a journey with them.
Yeah, and we've been in many. And then they don't ever. You can't. We were just in a shop 2 weeks ago. Jessica and I, we on our day date. Went into a shop and found the owner on TikTok, and he was talking about these cigars as Zion, and they sell them. And I'm like, oh, Jess, like that shop's in Sarasota. We should go there. And then we went there, and apparently he's out in California, but the shop here. And then it's like, yeah, we those are online only. And that was it. I'm like,
that's horrible.
I know. I'm like, somebody should have mentioned that, and it was a little irritating. And then we were in another shop. This is going back. Yeah, this is going back years ago. Walked into a shop, and every time we go into a new shop, like, what do you got new? Did you got something for your area? Like what do you What do you have? Like when we were in executive at Kentucky, you were there with Chrissy and Curtis.
Yeah, at Simpsonville.
Yeah. So Simpsonville. And we were there, and we knew Chrissy, and like, Chrissy, what do you guys got? That's only available. She's like, well, we're in Espinosa Lounge, so it took me, and you're only gonna find this, like, here and like 2 other shops, and you're only gonna have this. So it's like she wasn't pressuring, but we're like, we're gonna take 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, and walked out with fistfuls of cigars. And she was a good tobacco, not pressuring, but it's just like, hey, here's what's new. We were in a shop, I forget where we were at, and we asked the same question, like, hey, what do you got? Do you have anything for your shop? And he's like, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff. The guy was playing on his phone, wouldn't even look up at me. He was just on his phone. And I'm like, well, like what's your, like, the flavor profile of yours? Like, we're wanting something a little bolder and spicier. And he's like, yeah, just the back shelf. It's like the black box, like second on, never once looked up from his phone on us.
That's horrible.
So we needed some cigars, so I just bought 2 cigars. That was it. Walked out, and then that was it. Just garbage shop. Garbage. I hope they fail. I hope they did fail.
Wow. No, I've been to a few shops like that, and it sucks. We were at the one. You and I went to one that was like that. It was in Georgia. And
Oh, yeah.
the
It
young
was really
young
bad.
guy was behind the
We were down in Athens.
Yeah, behind the counter. And when I walked in the humidor, there's a lot of really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
A lot of good boutiques. But when I was asking them questions, it was just like, yeah,
Like we were bothering them.
Yeah, like you're bothering them. Yeah.
Anything, like, I do the same thing. You have anything exclusive to your lounge? You have anything local? Do you have anything that's rare, something that you can't get anywhere else? Yeah, there's some stuff in there. Oh yeah, go take a look at it. I'm sitting there going, really? Like your meme. I just want to throw you money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went in there, and I think I ended up buying like GTO because I saw
Yeah,
Oscar stuff
and we
was
sat
in
in the lounge
And we sat in the lounge area.
But
And we got up
no
and left. I was like,
interaction,
screw this, it's
nothing.
ridiculous.
It was horrible.
Yeah. We were in a good little shop on the other side of the bridge from Louisville, because you can't smoke in Louisville. And we asked the same thing. Do you have anything local? And the guy's like, we actually do have. And I forget who made this cigar, but then we actually aged them in whiskey, because they're the whiskey trail there. We actually aged them for a year in whiskey barrels ourselves, and we're like, oh, that's what we want. And the guy's like, I'm out. And I'm like, he's like, he's a real nice guy, and so we picked out a couple cigars, and he's ringing us out, and he's like, you know what? Hold on a second. So he went into the back. He was gone for like 5 minutes, and he came out with 2, and he's like, these are from my personal, humidor in the back. I just had to find them, and I'm like, oh, cool, and he's like, these are on me, didn't know Jessica, not who we were, anything about us, and we had bought some other cigars, and it's like, that's how you do business. Not giving free stuff away, but he's like, just take these. These are from my personal, there you go. And I'm like, that was awesome.
That extra mile.
It's like Kartik. Whenever I go to Kartik's place, I always buy, and he's always like, hey, you got to try this. Or, you got anything from the personal stash? Yeah, I got this. Yeah, here's how much it is. Yeah, hey, give this a try. He always gives me a cigar or 2 to try. that's from either his stash or something from there. You might want to get us. And I'll tell you what, one of the best shops I've been into in a long time. Super nice guy. I mean, just when you guys got to come up here, it's like you're gonna say, okay, Kerr, here's the deal. You should live closer to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I told you when Daryl and I went up, Daryl went in the humidor before me, and I was talking to Kartik a little bit, shooting his shit. When I opened the door, Daryl was still like literally 5 feet in from the door.
Easily 70-30
like this.
boutique.
Yeah.
I go, hey, Daryl, and he's like, I don't know where to begin.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And he's like, I wanted to buy one cigar at each shop we stopped at today. He's like, I may just hit my limit here.
Yeah.
And and again, Kartik's such a nice guy too. He's, him and Kartik and Boda are like the two shops that I think have great selection, but some of the best customer service.
Yeah, it's like one of our local shops where I bought all that old CLE, and Shabazz, great guy, and knows a lot about cigars. Doesn't have the time. He runs. It was like that shop that I went in with you, and they had like the paycheck cashing thing place.
Yeah.
And they had the line. So he does cigarettes and vape, and that's like 90% of his business.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got a huge humidor, and he can never spend any time back there because he works by himself. He's always got a line of people, so I'm always in his humidor. It's a mess. It's vaguely organized, but every now and then you'll find, and it's got enough room where you can stack like 3 or 4 boxes deep.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to bring in a flashlight. I always have a flashlight with me and look what's in the back, and then you pull out like this, these vintage stuff. But I'll always spend, every time I'm in there, like the last 3 times, I've spent anywhere between $600 and $1,000 every time I'm in there. Because like I said, all the CLE, I found all that stuff, and I bought everything. Same thing with the Room 101. Bought everything he had, his entire selection. And then he'll be like, hey, have you smoked this? And I'm like, no, I haven't. So like you got like the one of the Asylums, like the straight jackets, or one of the other ones, the vintage ones. He'll be like, 2 of these. And I'll have 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 cigars, and those are just my freebies. He just throws those in.
Yeah.
There you go. And it's just no inventory count at all. Just take all of these. And it's awesome. And it's completely disorganized.
Yeah. No, it's crazy when you go to a place like that. The place that we went into used to be disorganized, and Duncan worked there and organized it. And that's where he found a whole bunch of old stuff and was
Now it's disorganized
fire salad.
again.
It's a little bit more. It's kind of organized, but it's, if you asked him what was in his humidor and where it was, it'd be like asking you directions. Would have any idea anything. I mean, absolutely no idea whatsoever. Because when you and I were in there, it was like, here's what they got here. You got to really dig. You got to dig and look. You got to dig and look and see what is there.
Dig and look, and then look around, just because all of the tatuajes are right here, like 3 shelves. No, there may be 1 or 2 hidden boxes over there behind the Drew estate, tucked 3 boxes deep. Yeah. That he lost 10 years ago, and he doesn't know that they're there. So you got to dig through and find, and find that box, and then just stacks of boxes, on the floor, the middle of the aisles. So you got to dig through the stacks. And I was in there like 6 months ago, and because he has like a selection at his house too, that's humidified, so he brings in, and he had a box of like Camacho Liberties from like 2014 or something, 2015, and then like those weird big boxes, and he had 12, 15 of them, boxes stacked up high. Like you have like the entire collection of the planet of these left here. And he's like, yeah, I like forgot about them at home. Like bought them and forgot to sell them.
That's funny.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we God, I'm trying to think of when at the Tobacco Plus. Oh, I was helping him one day move some stuff around when Dunk was still there. And he's like, Keddy, I'll give you some cigars. I'm like, that's fine. He goes, no. And he goes in the back and he comes out with his gem bag. and opens it up, and Duncan's laughing. I'm like, what? And he's like, that's the gym. He goes, that's the bag I used when I went to IPCPR like 2 years ago. So when he would go to IPCPR, he'd get all the freebies, all the samples, and then bring it back, just keep them.
Yeah.
It's like, are you going to sell them? No. Can I buy them? No. I'm just going to hold on to them. And he had given me a number of cigars that day. And I think it was back when, what is that one cigar that is made by Roman Craft that has got the really funky P? Is that Padua?
Pastowny. That's made for a shop here in Florida. Yeah.
Well, he gave me one of them when they came out, when they were sampling it.
Yeah.
It was like that one and like a handful of others that now I'm seeing them. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when they first came. Duncan's like, yeah, when they first came out, I got all these different samples. He's got a couple bags full of just.
Yeah, when I was the first person to ever review a Lars Teton cigar on YouTube. So my local shop, like I said, when they go out to IPCPR, PCA, back RTDA, like I said, Bill has a pile, and they're all in like Ziploc bags with, and in his warehouse next door. And when I saw it, it was a pile 6 feet tall, whatever, of just bags going back 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah.
He never sells them, never goes through them. And that was, early in my cigar reviewing, I was really digging the acids. And he's like, I think I got something that you might like. And it took him a while to dig through and find a Lars Teton sampler from one of the trade shows. So you know how long ago that's been. And he just gave it to me. And then I always kept asking him for years, hey, can I dig through that pile? And he goes, no. I go, do you know what's in the pile? No. I can only imagine.
Oh yeah.
What's in that pile of, especially the bottom of the pile.
Oh my god.
And they're not stacked. He just throws them in a corner and is this mound of cigars from trade shows.
But like you said, it's like why not let me just I'll give you $100 and I'll dig out 5 or whatever. But for the 5 best I could pull out, I was this is a few years back. I was traveling up in McLean, Virginia, and I always stop at Paul Gamarian's place. And the first time I ever stopped there, I didn't know crap about PG cigars. And when I left, I not only knew everything about PG cigars, but I fell in love with the cigars, right? And there's the rain. That's the reason why I wanted to mow the lawn today. So I've been going in there, on a regular basis and talking to the guy who works in there. So it'd been a while since I visited, so I stopped in, and he had a table, and their place is kind of funny because it's like, it's semi-organized, right? So I roll in, and they got a table, they got a humidor in the back, they got a table there, and they got all these cigars there, and I'm like, what's this? He's like, we're cleaning out the area, and these are just samplers that people had given us over the years in their travels. And he's like, we sell Paul Gamarians. We tell them we sell Paul Gamarians, but they give them to us anyways. So we're just going to sell them now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I start looking on the table, and there's 2 packs that really stood out. One, I saw a pack from someone I will not mention, but we got no conversation, and it was kind of comical, the feedback I got regarding that individual. But he's like, don't you have a buddy who loves My Father cigars? I'm like, yeah, Duncan. He's a big fan. He's like, come here. He hands me a sample pack of when they first came out with their line of cigars.
Really?
And they brought back the JJ?
Yeah.
This was the original JJ. The original. In the pack when they were out marketing. It was all the line. The original AJ. You could see the aging on it. And I'm like, how much? He's like, $20. I was like, are you kidding me? I remember giving it to Duncan as a gift. And Duncan was like tearing up as he was looking at this freaking sampler pack. But it was amazing seeing the number of cigars that were on that table and the brands that were on there of companies that were just starting out and just trying to get their brands into every shop. And you pull in this shop, they're like, Nah, we just do Paul Gamarian. Yeah, it's great. It actually, he's such a nice guy. I was visiting and I said, hey, I said I got a gift for you, and and it was actually one of the Camachos, right?
Yeah.
The one we were talking about with Christian, and he's like, I appreciate it. I love that you think of me at that level. He's like, but I do not accept gifts, and I do not smoke anything but Paul Gamarian. And I'm like, and he was so nice about it. I could tell he was like, I genuinely, he goes the offer, and what and how you, he goes, it completely moved me, but I cannot accept gifts, and I only smoke Paul Gamarian. And I was like, no problem. He's like, I completely love the fact that our friendship has reached this level. He goes, but I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you.
Yeah, I don't accept a lot of cigars anymore. We get Jessica does, she gets people reaching out to her all the time. Will you want to try my cigar? You want to try my cigar? And she's like, yeah, she'll take it, she'll smoke it, take pictures. I just tell people, I go, I said I'm honored, but I don't have time. I don't have time because I know what they want. Either they want a review or they want a photo, and it's just like I'm too many cigars deep. I like trying new stuff. Like the one you sent me here, the muzzle loader. But from a lot of these companies, and then people were like, hey, can I send you some cigars? Just friends, people I meet online, and I'm like, I'd rather not. I'm just gonna put them in my humidor. I'm never gonna smoke them.
Right.
It's we've got Tupperdoors now. I think I'm on my 4th miscellaneous Tupperdoor, and they each hold 150 cigars.
Yeah.
And every now and then, Jessica and I will bring them down and we'll spread them out on the bed, and then we'll have 1,000 cigars, and we just dig through and find out. I'm like, oh my god, we had one of these. So we'll move it to another Tupperdoor of like things we're gonna smoke, and then we never smoke that. So now we have Tupperdoors of really nice cigars that we really want to smoke that we're never going to smoke. And
That's funny.
And I do not tell that too many times, because people be like, you have like 1,000 cigars that you're never going to smoke. I go, never. Like, never in my life will I ever smoke them. And people are like, can I have a couple? I go, no. No, just because I made.
Now you know why that guy's got a pile of fucking cigars over in the corner he won't let you touch.
Exactly.
I'm the same way, and Jessica's getting to be. She always thought I was crazy, and now she's got like 4 of her own Tupperdoors. And now it's getting to be a bit much. She doesn't know what she has, and it's getting insane.
You need to catalog them.
We do, and I don't know of a way to do it. It's just insane. It's because they just go without. If I had a walk-in humidor to where at least they were visual, I would probably see them and smoke them more. But when they're just tucked away in a corner and you never look at them, you just never smoke them.
Yeah.
You always go back to the same one. We probably have 6 cigars that we probably have 50 or 60 of. Like those are kind of like our go-tos. Like this, like I'm smoking now the Hoya Cabineta. I didn't need any more cigars. I bought 2 boxes of these, so now I have 40 of these. So it's just another one of those cigars.
Well, props to you and Jessica for the coffee that you sent up. I haven't drank the medium roast only because I won't do medium roast because I know it just, no matter how you make it, it's just not going to be strong enough. That'll be Kerr to try. But I have to say, the dark roast you sent, it's pretty freaking good. It really, I was shocked.
Yeah, it was from the farmers market, that we went to, and they have their own. It's such a huge farmers market now. They now have their own line of meats and cheeses and chocolates and coffee and other stuff, we saw the coffee, yeah, and I'm like, oh, it actually looks pretty good.
It was good.
So.
It really was. It really. We've tried a gazillion different dark roasts, and they all claim this, and it's the best ever, and they've all just sucked horribly, and God knows how much money's been wasted on them. But this, It's a great cup of coffee. The beans are just, they smell, when you open it up and you get that waft of smell, and it's just, you could just tell at that point it was going in the right direction. And then to hold them, they had such a nice sheen on them, the color of them. And then the next test is to grind them and not have it look like it's a ground up cigarette where you have like
Yeah.
different color light specks.
Oh, it's horrible. That.
Yeah.
It was very, there's a moth around here.
I can see that.
Very minimal, like light specks. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll use a French press to really kind of test it out. And it was a really good cup of coffee.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the few places I see, because they had it already pre-ground, and then they had the whole beans, and they had like the machines there where you could grind it yourself and set the grind. And I'm like, man, it's been forever since I've been to a place where you can actually pour in your own coffee and grind it yourself. You just never see that anymore.
Yeah, it's really, it's a good one. Definitely a good one.
Yeah, I was a
So
big
thank you.
fan. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, we got some great steaks from there. I think we had some New York strips. That's where we got the pink pineapple, which was fantastic. You got to definitely find that pink pineapple.
I found them. Excuse me. I found some online, and you're right. They are very pricey to buy a whole pineapple. I saw prices anywhere between 30 and 50.
Yeah. You know, and then they actually had the machine there. They didn't sell the pink pineapples there. They only sold the slices. So, you know, and it was a really good price. I think it was like $6, but obviously when you're slicing it, they probably made more money. They probably made $100 on a pineapple by selling it. But they had the cool pineapple machine there where you could pick out the pineapple you wanted, then you put it.
I have no idea what to say about you anymore.
I can't hear you, Kevin. I'm freaking out over
She
a
can't
freaking
hear
moth.
you. She's losing her mind.
Sorry.
So they had the machine where you could put in your whole pineapple, and then like the you know,
It
then you
cores
put
it
the
and everything?
you put the jar underneath, and it all comes out.
Nice.
Everything right there. I'm like, it's pretty brilliant, pretty cool machine.
I love buying whole pineapples. I absolutely suck at cutting it up.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, I waste so much of it. It's ridiculous. It really is.
I had a notification that someone had tagged me on a post in Instagram, right? And then I went to it and I liked it, and then it's I can't find it anymore.
Okay, so what you want to do then, if you were tagged in the post, so open up your Instagram.
Yeah.
So go to your profile. So hit your little thing. So you see your list of pictures. So you see those little icons above your pictures, like the little square, the TV. So if you go to the one all the way to the right, and it's got like the little person with the box around it, click on that, and then that will show you all the posts that you have been tagged in. And now that I say that, I have not done that in a while. So I see there's tons of people that have tagged me and stuff.
That's odd though. It's not there anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm just now seeing you tagged me in the post with the Room 101 urinal thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it there anymore. It was the guys from the 808 in Hawaii who were smoking my cigars.
Oh really? Do they have a group?
Yeah.
Oh, the what's it called? The 808 like?
I don't know. I looked up 808. There's like a million 808s. I can't remember what the hell they're called anymore.
808.
Because even on my notification, on my main page of notification, it popped up, but it's no longer there either.
Okay, so I see Cigar Life 808. Yeah, 808 Cigar maybe. Yeah. Because I know Chris Duquet. Do you know Chris Duquet? So he's the 808 Dirty Rat. He's actually a fantastic guy. So I had him on the show. We had a cancellation on a show. This is probably going back, I don't know, like 6 months ago, like last minute, and I'm like, crap, who am I going to get on the show? So I'm like, reached out to Chris, and I go, Chris, can you come on the show? I had a cancellation, and I've been wanting to get you on for a while. And he's like, yeah. So it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever, 2 o'clock out in Hawaii. And what a fantastic guy. And just hearing, and I did a little bit of research on him. And yeah, the guy that he pioneered like internet security for tracking down um, child sex trafficking and
Mm-hmm.
everything else, and just what a weird guy. Worked for like 6 presidents, and
That's crazy.
um, yeah, FBI recommendation or accolades online, and I'm like, Chris, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I thought you were just a cop in Hawaii. And he goes, yeah, I'm just a cop.
Hmm.
I'm like,
That's
you
funny.
are not just a cop.
Yeah, that's yeah, those guys do that shit, man. That's I like the downplay of yeah, I'm just a cop, and you know that they're definitely freaking a hell of a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He started that when and he foresaw that coming. Like computers had literally just been invented, and then Chris is like, "Hey, people can use this for bad. I'd like to start, like this whole internet crime, division thing." And they're like, "What? Like, what is the?" His bosses are like, "What is the internet?" And
Yeah.
then now, like it's just he pioneered everything. It was crazy, super good guy, big Drew Estate guy, big Dunbarton guy.
Yeah, there's Chris from Weber was telling me that they're we sent them some cigars that they get together. He's part of the 808, and that they're getting together and they have a smoke night, and they were going to smoke the cigars I sent them tonight.
Nice.
Oh, right on. So
Yeah,
yeah, so
so we're looking to get into a couple shops out there. So
Road trip
um,
to Hawaii.
road trip to
Boat trip to
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
yeah, you'll definitely have to look up Chris Duque then, the 808 Dirty Rat.
How to,
He's
is it how do you spell his last name?
Duque.
Uh, D-U. Okay.
QUE.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. He's Duke Kaloe.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. He's known as the 808 Dirty Rat. So yeah, if you're ever looking for like a good guest on your show, that guy is insane. He's such a cool guy, huge cigar guy. And it's just always known whenever you see something online, especially Dunbarton, and someone says, "Hey, take my pension check." That's always because that they're always calling out Chris for that. Because every time Dunbarton comes out with the new cigars, like, all right, Saka gets my pension check again this month, and
That's great.
oh, just absolute fantastic
I'll
guy.
message Chris to see if I can find that. But
Well,
so it was an interesting night without Jess.
yeah, we missed her though.
Yeah,
But next Sunday it could just be Jess and you guys, depending on my work schedule. I'm on call starting tomorrow for the week. So
are you? Yeah, and how's that? Is things picking up for you with COVID? Or I mean, I know that's
it's
a whole
it is
different from what you do, but
it is, but I'm working downtown, and it's as of Thursday or Friday, we had 70 inpatients COVID positive already.
wow.
So
Because I know my daughter for like over a year. I mean, where her hospital is in Miami, she was on like the COVID. They had like a whole floor. It was
yeah,
COVID only.
we did too. We
And
had 4 floors at one point.
yeah, and I don't know how many. I think maybe it was one. I don't know, but so that was winding down. So she finally, transferred over to neonatal.
Yeah,
Is what she's
it's
been wanting to
ramping
do.
up.
Her and then so yeah, now it's ramping up. They called her over. It's like, hey, do you want to pick up one day a week? Back on the COVID
Right.
floor, and then how does she turn that down when it's 2.5 times your pay?
Yeah.
For a 12-hour shift.
Yeah, our restrictions are back in full effect at both our hospitals, both our locations, and
Yeah.
see what happens. Just got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know she's she was concerned about going back to that floor and then going back to her regular job and neonatal. 'Cause
Yeah, I can
you
imagine.
definitely don't want to transfer
Yeah.
that, but they got her gloved up, mask, gowns, respirator and a mask, and it's just it's insane.
Yeah.
It's nuts down there in Miami.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it is pretty much. It's.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
So may just be the two of you and Jess next Sunday, which would be interesting.
Yeah, I think we've done it. I think we did it once before. I think it's
Yeah.
only been. I think this is the first time with us three, and I think there's only been one time with the other three.
Yeah.
So.
You crazy girls are always unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to get a show of just the girls, and just let them.
Girls talk.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think that show would be boring.
You think so?
Yes, because I think that they need to pick on us.
Yeah, I think so. Like, so we would still be there, like, but every, 15 minutes, Kerr and I would just pop our heads in and be like, hey, tell them about that time. And then, and then like, oh my God, let me tell you about that time.
Actually, all you would need to do is just poke your head in and just, you could go in and get something. And she'd be like, Kev, this is my time with Jen. Why do you always got to do this? You're doing it. And it would, but.
It's just like that time you did,
I'm not saying that you guys are boring. I'm just saying I think that you would only be able to take your abuse of us for so long, and then you would need to have us actually next to you to abuse us.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
That's a challenge.
That's a challenge.
It's my reverse psychology, Kev.
Yeah.
It always works so well with Jen.
Yeah, that's it. Well, on that note, I'm Broadleaf Bully Kevin. I'm Broadleaf Bully Jessica.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kerr.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Jen.
And remember,
Bullies
Bullies make good friends.